It's a pleasure to have you here. Feel free to connect with me through LinkedIn, and we can see how we can support one another, collaborate, and help each other out. So I moved here in February of 2024. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I was experiencing loneliness, so I wanted to eliminate that feeling for other people. So the mission is to eliminate loneliness and connect people with mentors, investors, and peer groups. I've hosted over 50 events in the past year. And now, feel free to scan this QR code. I launched like a premium membership, which includes like pitch deck feedback, VC office hours, other deals and stuff. 1, 2, 3. Now I want to thank Jeremy from Dovetail.
Yeah.
Give him a hand.
Welcome to Dovetail. My name is Jeremy. We are in the Dovetail space. Dovetail is an AI-powered customer intelligence platform. I'll let you just learn more by scanning this QR code. You can get access to the product for free. A question I have for you is, how many of you have worked with researchers? Or are researchers? Was that valuable? Did you learn anything about your ICP? Maybe discover what to build next? How many of you have worked as or are product people? Raise your hand. Yeah, quite a few. Are any of you designers? CX people? Operations? If you're looking to get closer to your customer and analyze high volume data at scale with AI, try Dovetail. And we're so glad to have you in our space. So excited to be here and can't wait to hear the pitches.
Thank you. You might have seen a little bit about Buyadgie. So it's an AI super connector. Feel free to scan it. That's actually how I met Jeremy, through WhatsApp, and we connected, and then now I'm here. So it works. You can find customers or like new relationships. It's a great app. Now I want to thank Emmanuel, the best photographer, videographer. If you host events for your startup or VC, reach out to him. Now I'll hand it to my co-host, Kangesh.
Alright. How many of you have been to my events before? And how many of you are here for the first time? So nothing had changed. My jokes had gotten worse. How many of you are founders? And do we have investor in the room? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we got many. By the way, my name is Gangesh Pathak. I do host event, but we are not an event company. I'm building a company called Oh Wow, and I'll tell you what we do. How many of you are building AI agents? It should be a lot. How many of you are not building AI agent? Then what you are doing others? Anyway, so you must have seen like recent MIT report. 95% AI agents failed in real world. And one of the reasons for this is low quality database. And that's why these agents need domain expert to train them. And these experts are hard to find and harder to manage. I'll tell you current scenario how it's happening. So you may have heard about the company called Scale AI, which is started during computer vision, and they get your model trained with crowd workers, which is black box. And then you will see a couple of marketplaces where you can find the talent, but they don't have infra, they don't have QA, no compliance, and then some DIY tools. That's why we are building expert plus infra for multi-model AI. This is our team. My name is Gangesh Pathak. I'm from enterprise sales. I'm the CEO, and my co-founder, he was in Google. We came together 3 months back, and we started building. And other co-founder, she is from DevOps and Infra, and we make money. We launched 3 months back. Last month we did 600K ARR. This month we are doing 980K ARR, and next month we're gonna do 1.5 million ARR. So if you're an investor, come talk to me. I want some feedback and maybe money later on. Thank you.
Now, right before we get into the pitches, I'll give the mic to the judges to introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, thank you guys for having me here. My name is Elvie and I'm the founder of Block Street Capital, where we invest at the intersection of finance and AI. I also do mentor companies on go-to-market and product positioning, and happy to talk to anyone who might want to chat about any of those. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wanda Wang. I'm currently a partner at Dataworkz Capital. We're a PE firm based out in LA. We typically write 10 to 150 million in checks. We're around 2.1 billion assets under management right now. Currently raising another fund. We typically partner with VCs as well, and we love to support passionate founders and companies with their businesses, both strategically and operationally.
I'm Titus from Techni Ventures. We don't write checks like you, Wanda. We write $500,000 to $1 million into pre-seed and seed. AI-driven healthcare biology and a little bit agnostic. And I'm based at 133 Kearney, 1 minute away.
Hey guys, good evening everyone. I'm here, all the way in the back. My name's Vineet. I used to be a founder. I ran 3 startups for 16 years, and now for the last 6 years I've been an early stage VC. I ran a fund in India, and 3 months ago I moved to SF with a backpack and a one-way ticket. And now I'm setting up a fund over here as well in SF, pre-seed and seed investor. Happy to have a conversation with any founders who'd love to, but thank you.
So hi, I'm Kat Turner. I'm the founder of Autaly, and we automate billing for businesses with really complex transactions. Right now our wedge is logistics. I just moved to San Francisco with my orange backpack 3 weeks ago, so I feel you. Sir, how do you do next? Oh, thank you. Okay, so a bit of my background. So I have been a founding backend engineer at 3 startups that have all exited, fintech and supply chain. So I know what it takes to build a team, be delusional, and have a successful exit. Next. So the problem I'm working with is essentially cash flow lock-in. In the logistics industry, there's $4 trillion of working capital that is locked. That means that someone has billed and the customer has not paid, or they haven't written the bill because it's too complicated to bill. Now, as all of you are probably software businesses, it's trivial. Write some software, you have a team that writes some billing software, hook it up to Stripe, and you're all set. Well, there's a whole world of industries that need a dev team to do that, and I'm focused on logistics for now. So Autaly, essentially in short, enables anyone that's done spreadsheet billing, think of accounts receivable people, an operator that had pivot tables, to take that, connect with our platform to their APIs, and vibe code billing rules, effectively turning any accounts receivable person into an engineer. Next. So how Autaly works is that we connect to our platforms. Our AI is able to dynamically connect to API, generating code. People can type in exactly how they want to bill. Autaly generates the code and is able to safely compute the transaction costs. Invoicing is scheduled, and then we work with different payment processors. Next. So our unique edge is our cost. There's a lot of generative AI startups, and guess what? They're eating up AI credits. We generate the software and lock it in, save it in, so we're actually processing transactions at lower cost. We're new and we're innovative. And now, why now? AI is cheap, so VCs are funding it. Thank you very much, and I love that. So next. So far, We're pretty new. We have 3 strong accounts, two accounts that make under 5 million a year, and then our new enterprise account makes over 50 million a year. So we got 32K ARR from that. And we've generated 3 million invoices since April, and we've had 319 charge rules next. So our TAM is 1.4 billion. We have an aggressive growth plan related to introducing the market with a simple to understand product and then upselling that product next. And so our go-to-market playbook right now is 1, partnerships. We have a partnership with Fulfill.com that's been referring customers in the industry for logistics. So that's how I've been getting leads. And then the second way has been experimental, which I joined Founders Inc. a couple weeks ago. With essentially, we have a consumer-facing app, people discover us, and eventually we'll find people who work in different industries that need automated billing. This has 4x visits to Autaly in just a week. So it's proven to be successful, and we have 2 signups next. And the partners I'm looking for is to help us grow aggressively for 1 year. 1, you either have some kind of media amplification platform, you either have like followers, you're a yapper on X, anyone, okay, I like those people. And secondly, someone that has connections to a company that could buy us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you the founder?
Yes, I'm the founder.
Solo?
I'm a solo founder, yes.
Okay.
I build and sell every day.
Give me a background. Why should you be building this?
Because I'm the best. Because I have because
No,
I'm a
but
back
you're
end.
also the best at a healthcare startup. Why should you be building a startup doing billing?
Because I've been a back-end engineer at startups that all eventually exited. I've built their infrastructure in cloud, so I know how it works in fintech and in supply chain. And then after COVID, I was super delusional. I was like, I want to make carbon neutral logistics. So I started a warehouse because I want to do carbon neutral logistics. Realized that running a warehouse is really hard. I don't want to order tape. So then I thought, you know what? Why don't my background's in billing and like fintech. Why don't I just talk to all these operators? And I talked to like 100 3PLs, and they're like, we can't do billing on time. So we have customers with outstanding invoices of $95,000, $100,000. And I'm like, well, let me help you. And that's how I started Autaly. So.
Thank you.
Or there's any other feedback or questions from the judges?
Sorry, I'm nervous. That's why I talk fast.
What's your ICP?
So right now it's warehouses that make between 60 million and 20 million. But we do resonate with warehouse operators that are starting out, so they're making around like 1 to 2. And that was actually my first customer. But I found with this new enterprise customer, they have a whole dev team. They're working with a contracting accounts receivable team, and they have 2 full-time accounts receivable people. And if Autaly is helpful for them, I want to find those people first because they're going to pay me more first.
Is it in real time?
Yes.
How is it in real time?
Because we pull from their WMSs. So what happens, how it works is that there's a schedule, we're pulling from the WMSs. So by the way, a third-party logistics business is like when you order online in Amazon, they like pack your orders. That's the business. Okay, so the orders process, they pack, we pull from the WMS, and because the accounts receivable people or operator have wrote out the billing rules, which are essentially Excel equations, but as code, Autaly ingests the data, processes the charge, and then it's saved. And then depending on their invoicing schedule, it'll be deployed. We'll push out the invoice. However, we've also just came out with Wallet, which everyone here takes it for granted. The notion of a software company, you pay ahead of time for monthly subscription, right? And you're like, okay, $200, give me your service, right? That's unheard of in logistics because it takes them such a long time to build. So how we open up cash flow for these businesses is that now businesses can pay ahead to get the logistics service, and because of our billing, it's so fast we're able to deduct automatically, which has been not possible. So.
How about if you have SKUs from different vendors and they have different numbers and you cannot map it?
So the beauty of it is that you could go in, it's basically, there's a, should you go next? Autaly. You go into a chat and the person could type in for SKU something, add in $1 fee. And then whatever the payload of the data is we get from WMS, Because we've generated its Python software to process it, it'll be able to match on whatever rule based on a SKU. So that's the great thing of it, is whatever data we're ingesting, as long as the accounts receivable people could see the data, which we show, they're able to write the rule for it, much like Excel, but faster. So, yeah.
Next up, WowCater, give a hand.
Okay, feel free to scan this here to get an experience of our app. And WowCater is the most customizable and dynamic office catering service that was once a multi-million-dollar company prior to the pandemic. Next. And since then, I've been building out the digital interface and looking to get investment to relaunch and rebrand potentially. We partner with dozens of caterers that we already have onboarded. Next. And that specialize in their own unique cuisines. And data is essential for our KPIs. Which is why we have this iPad here, which would be set up directly in the offices where they're having their meals so that employees can easily just rate their meal, whether it's good or bad, or they can go in and rate specific items, etc. And so I'm also looking to partner with someone great in AI to get all these metrics to fully customize that into a unique experience for our customer base. Let's see. Next. We have a unique algorithm. It allows our customers, a customer to have employees order from multiple vendors and still satisfy order minimums of the industry standard of 20. So in the catering industry, 20 is the minimum for caterers. And the reason why we use these caterers rather than restaurants is to ensure the highest quality food. It's a big competitive advantage to use those caterers. And yeah, let's go to next. It's a highly profitable opportunity. Our average customer would yield about $250,000 a year in revenue, with larger clients being 10x that. Smallest clients that we would get is about $50K in revenue per year. Yeah, thank you.
Are those confirmed customers? Or?
Yeah, and it's recurring business. There's a lot to this app. I mean, we track the deliveries. They have to send in a code to ensure that's delivered on time. It's the customer could link their Google Calendar for their office to where they can show on an office calendar what the meal is for that day, and it's just automatically uploaded on there. And they could also put like a map, like if it's like a large building, like, okay, you gotta go through this back entrance, and then they can put that on the delivery, they can upload that, it goes on the delivery sheet for the driver, who then sends in the code. We monitor all that. They could rate everything, rate specific, let's say there's a specific meal where there's too much salad, they could say that for every upcoming order, put less salad. So there's a lot that went into that app, and we're ready to relaunch. All we need is a rocket fuel to get there.
Any questions from the group?
Thank you, great presentation. Wondering what's next on your roadmap, and what's the goal for the next year?
The immediate goal is to hire a sales team. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The market is oversaturated, and so the sales is very important. One good benefit, though, is that we don't have to hire a huge software engineering team. But I do want to get into AI and want to hire some AI builders to get the the unique dietary restrictions and the every customer is unique, dislikes and likes to be completely custom tailored to through all the information. Yeah.
Hey, David, love the presentation. Quick question. At some point you said 250K. So how early are you as a startup? How late are you as a startup? This seems to be a fairly mature op that you're running.
So yeah, we were first in business in 2017. Once the pandemic hit,
What are your numbers right now, last 12 months?
we're starting from ground zero. We're relaunching. This is,
Okay.
and I want to rebrand it. I've been working on the software in the background since the pandemic and building out something
So
particularly.
it's day zero again for you.
It's day zero again. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
So what's the difference between 17 and now?
A lot more offices have they're in there 3 days a week or so, or 4 days a week, hybrid models. That is the main difference between then and now. So there is a lot less, there is less revenue on the plate, but there's still a lot to be out there. But again, the market is there's a lot of competition too
So
now.
there's a tons of local competition.
Yes.
Is there like a scaled competition that is not local? Because like
Yes.
any country you go to, you have some kind of delivery system, the product, like the box thing for like people who want to like keep their calorie count, and then like the healthy whatever options. So like what's so different about your food?
So we're able to keep our costs much lower than theirs through being able to not have to have a software team, and how fully customizable it is for each office. We
Like you
can
guys
allow.
said, everyone is buying from this like everyone is buying the food from the same provider.
A lot of them are utilizing ghost kitchens to fulfill orders from multiple vendors, so that way they can offer a wide variety of cuisine. I'm using an algorithm to order from caterers instead of these ghost kitchens that will allow to order from 5 different caterers instead of 5 different restaurants in a ghost kitchen, and that provides a higher quality food.
Thank you. Give a hand. Next up, Actival.
Thank you. My name is Nikola. It's a pleasure to introduce you to Actival. We are a spin-off from the largest R&D center in Switzerland called CSEM, and we have a mission to bring a new generation of active dental aligners to the market. Conventional aligners have already created one of the biggest disruptions in the dental domain. They were born here in Silicon Valley, Invisalign, for line technology, and they are already a $6.5 billion market, which is growing 30% year on year. But they do have a problem. They're blocking the access of saliva and oxygen to the teeth, which creates bacterial buildup, plaque accumulation, caries lesions, and a bad odor. At CSEM, we have developed a technology with 4 patents on how to directly print aligners with integrated microfluidic channels. As you can see here in blue, we have a reservoir which is slowly releasing beneficial liquids through small channels that are about 100 micron in size. The channels are pre-filled during manufacturing, so the patient doesn't need to refill them, and of course they're fully transparent, colored in here just for visual effects. They're pre-filled with antibacterial, calcium fluoride, or flavor. Next. Thus, we have an active device which is removing all the problems with plaque, and furthermore, creating stronger enamel for mineralization, creating a pleasant odor. And for all of this, we have received more than 2,000 letters of interest from dental clinics. As you can see, the competitors from Align Technology to others, it's a world of unicorns, but all of them have a passive device compared to our active device. Our business model, it's missing part of the slide, is direct B2B, or selling through distributors with whom we already have agreements. We're launching in the US by the end of the year, because US is actually more than half of the global aligner market. And if there's one slide to remember, or half of a slide, is this one, it's traction. As mentioned, we're pre-market, but we exhibited on 3 trade shows in New York, Dubai, and Kalentics. With small booths, we have received more than 2,000 handwritten, signed letters of interest from clinic owners. If you convert only 1/3 of these, it's more than 60 million in ARR. This is the list of KOLs. As you can see, these are all clinic directors, deans, and so on from the leading dental clinics such as ZMK, which is 7th worldwide, Ann Arbor in the US, which is #1 worldwide, Zurich, Ohio State, Queen Mary in London. We have partnerships here with UCSF and Harvard Dental as well. Second most important slide, fundraising. We're raising a seed round of 2 million to enter the market. 1 million or 1.2 is already committed. We have a strong network of business angels. So we have ex-CEO Straumann. Straumann is a $2 billion annual revenue dental company. He's been their CEO for 15 years. He's a business angel. Executive director of a global top 10 clinic. We won Venture Kick in Switzerland, the most prestigious accelerator. We got 1 million from them. Both of their co-founders are investing in us. 90% of all Swiss startups go for Venture Kick, by the way. We won it. Co-founder of Honr in New York. It's a US-based unicorn. He's investing, head of investment banking of HSBC, friends and family. Next. We have a team of 8, which is now growing. The startup is moving to the US because of the market. Next. And we've been supported by the Swiss government. So it's been 2.5 years of R&D in this project. 3 million invested by the Swiss government, Swiss, and we want all the other grants as well. So if you're interested, please feel to connect. Thank you.
1 or 2 questions.
Active aligner is the same price range. It has integrated microfluidic channels, which are pre-filled, so the patient doesn't need to fill them, with antibacterial, calcium fluoride, and flavor. And when you wear them by diffusion, it's bonding with the saliva and slowly releasing. So all the preclinical and clinical have been done. 2.5 years of R&D, more than 3 million invested, and that's the active component with the leading dental clinics. So just check here with UCSF, for example.
I see. And then the manufacturing process is just how, what's kind of the way you make this?
Directly 3D printed.
Okay.
So relatively simple printers, about $10,000 US per printer, with some proprietary technology. That's the 4 patents coming from.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm curious if, I understand that this is patented. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
4 patents.
I'm curious how the market is saturated. There's so many companies that are working on this. Curious how you're planning to outbeat them and for them not to get ahead of you while just creating something similar.
So the patents were defined and filed by CSEM, who has more than 200 patent families, works with as an R&D center with NASA in the US, Meta, Facebook, all around. So the patents are very strong. That's first of all. Second of all, market-wise, you saw, with only 3 trade fairs, we reached out to 2,000 dentists, handwritten, first name, last name, email address, phone number, hand signature. Most of the people would not do that on a trade show if you ask them to do it. So that's a strong commitment. Everything is, of course, transferred to a CRM, due diligence passed, and so on.
Thank you.
And by the way, Invisalign already approached us regarding the patents in the company.
And M&A?
Later on.
Nikola, quick question. Are you in the aligner selling business or the patents that you have on the 3D printing business? So would you sell a machine or licensed machine in different geographies, or are you in the aligner selling business?
No, it's a standard business model. It's a centralized manufacturing of aligners, same as Invisalign and others. The printers are fine-tuned, so that's another part of the patent and the know-how. I have a Ph.D. from the leading university in Switzerland, and I'm the first author of the 4 patents. I have a Ph.D. in 3D printing.
And how important is this problem? Because Invisalign is obviously selling millions of aligners, right? They're still in business, so obviously customers seem to be okay. So how much of a pain point is this?
Not really. So it's a big pain point because you do straighten your teeth, but you get a lot of plaque and white spot lesions, caries lesions. So US-wise, Ann Arbor, which is #1 worldwide, UCSF is #2, Harvard Dental, and 2,000 LOIs, if you're just talking about the US. So these are all the experts that can clarify the importance of such a release. It's not only about the liner. Our patent is covering the full range of dental devices, so also night guards, anti-bruxism trays, all of these products that can benefit from microfluidic release during the use phase.
What's the price point?
It's actually cheaper than the conventional liner because it's directly printed, it's faster, but we're selling at the same price range.
So how much is in the line?
It depends on the initial case. So if it's mild to moderate, usually it's about 1,000 for the set. It depends on the number of pieces in the set. Each patient is different because the line treatment is different. And we're selling at the same price point.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Dataworkz.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'll start with a quick introduction. My name is Sachin Smotra. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Dataworkz. Before starting Dataworkz, I used to work for Couchbase, which is a NoSQL database. I actually built an analytical database that can scale to billions of records to a mobile database that can run on your iPhone. And before that, I used to work for Cisco WebEx back when Zoom wasn't a thing. AI has an ROI problem, and that is exactly what we're trying to solve here at Dataworkz. Gagnesh before me talked about the ROI problem with AI, the recent MIT report. Instead of trying to quote that report, what I will do is I am going to walk you through a customer story. So this is, again, Dataworkz is a 5-year-old company, and we started building agents in 2024, in Jan of 2024. We landed a POC with Fortune, at that time Fortune 500, and now Fortune 200 wealth advisory company. And what was the 30,000 transaction to start with is a multi-million-dollar transaction today. And all I want to do is walk you through. We started with them because they were having challenges working to build working AI applications. Agents, 2025 is the year of agents. 2024 was the year of RAG, and that's where we started with the customer. We built the first POC we built for them was a virtual financial advisor. As some of you might be aware, financial advisors, a bunch of them are retiring, and they wanted to have all of that tribal knowledge captured internally and available to new financial advisors that were coming in. From there, we essentially were head-to-head with an internal team that was trying to do the same thing. And what took their team around 6 to 9 months with one distinguished architect and 9 consultants took us about a day after the software was deployed in their premises. From there, we essentially started working with other teams. The engineering assistant that they built with us has the potential for $100 million in savings annually. They're building a customer support agent that has the potential to save them $30 million today. Recently, we started working with their program management office that is essentially automating their whole workflow processing using our product. So the reason I'm bringing this up is these are all highly regulated industries and have a wide variety of use cases. The biggest problem that they're facing is that AI has a reliability problem. LLMs are stochastic parrots. Because they're statistical machines, you cannot expect them to give you the same answer every time. And we built what some people are calling neurosymbolic programming, but think of it as a reasoning layer that works with an LLM layer in concert to give you deterministic outcomes for your problems. It is a great solution for solving internal workflows that are repetitive. Next slide, please. So go back to the previous slide. This is a little bit about the company. We started off bang in the middle of COVID in Feb 2020. Went through our trials and tribulations, pivoted in Jan of 2024. And at this point in time, we are cash flow positive, or as YC likes to say, default to life. We're looking to raise $1 million, out of which 300K is already committed. And I'm looking to meet with both venture capitalists as well as founders that are trying to build agents and see if we can help accelerate your agent building process. Thank you.
Questions? Where's something? Oh, Any questions or feedback?
Hey, so you raised 4 point some million, you said on the last slide, right?
Yeah.
So are you currently fundraising?
Yes.
How much are you raising and for what?
I'm raising $1 million to invest in go-to-market. Like I said, we are default alive, to use the YC term, and we are a well-kept secret right now. Nobody really knows about us, and I'm raising $1 million.
Except for your customers.
Except for our current set of customers.
Okay.
And a few partners.
So why are your existing investors not writing you a bridge for that million they've already invested for?
Oh, like I said, so I have 300K already committed, and I'd like to bring in some outside investors who are going to help beyond my existing set of investors.
Okay, thank you.
What's your traction right now?
We have a large enterprise customer, which is a wealth advisory company. We have a public company that is a marketing agency that is using us for building a brand monitoring agent. We have a...
And this translates to what revenue?
We are about 2 million in revenue, which includes both services and ARR.
And then what's the recurring?
Out of that, half of it is recurring.
Thank you. Next up, Honr.
Hey, how you doing? In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to try to convince you that inventory management is something that you should really care about. Can you go to the next one? So the mission that we're on is that we want to live in a world where every part of the day-to-day business is handled by AI. And go to the next. Yeah. As you can see, Anthropic is already working on something that I'm going to tell you a little bit more about. This is Project Vend. I don't know how many of you saw it. It's basically this kind of vending machine that reacts to some user requests via Slack channel and then refills the vending machine based on the request that it found there. And it was kind of a funny outcome, but I mean, if you want to read it, feel free to go into it. So the current problem that we have in the world is that manual inventory management causes a lot of inventory distortion, so overstock and understock, and that's on the order of 1.7 trillion across the entire world. In the US, that's just it's $82 billion. So that if it's a consumer that comes into the store and wants to buy an item, in 15% of the cases it's just not there, and that's the kind of thing that we're talking about here. And one second. So yeah, well, essentially we're going to unlock a lot of value by bringing agents into this. All right, and so we're enabling physical retail businesses to run on autopilot, starting with inventory management. And so far, we have an MVP live in a test market with 1,100 users. We have signed deals with 6 suppliers and are talks with Unilever and Heineken to share some of the marketing data that we're getting. And the industry market, if you didn't already know, we're targeting 500 million independent retailers and their suppliers across the world. So these are revenue projections and my team. So the total addressable market, as I just pointed out, are the 500 million independent retailers worldwide, and they're moving about $900 billion of merchandise every year. And yeah, so I can skip the steps in between, but the current pipeline that we have, well, okay, in the current market we're in, with just the 6 partners that we already have, we have a retail network of 50,000 merchants that we're going to be onboarding on after we raise our pre-seed. Next. All right, this is our business model. So we're mainly going to be targeting these independent merchants, but the suppliers, yeah, well, the suppliers are also going to be part of the independent merchants are going to have an agent. Well, I just switched the slides on. This kind of makes doesn't make it. Can you skip ahead? All right, this is how it works. So basically, the merchants, they're gonna have an agent that has access to all of the ERP and inventory data and the POS data, and this allows the agent to negotiate prices with the supplier on their behalf. We found out that it's actually that agents are quite capable of negotiating prices, delivery schedules, SKU mixes, and even financing with these guys, because these are like very standard things. So what we solve we solved this problem at 3 stages. Number 1, the data platform. Number 2, the chatbot that the merchant just uses to interact with their own database. And then the multi-agent communication where the agent of the merchant talks to the supplier. This is the dashboard. This is the app that is currently in production, and this is the agent inventory procurement flow. So on one hand, you have an alert where one of your items goes below a certain value. Then the merchant decides to hand off a few of those items to an agent. That agent discusses the business with the supplier, and then if the merchant chooses that they just want to let it through, they confirm the order, and then it's sent on their way. All right, this is just all of the things that the agent is really good at negotiating. The go-to-market looks like this. We have suppliers that we're going to target, and they are sending their sales force out to the merchants to basically distribute our application to all of them. And another good channel that has worked for us really well was direct customer referrals. Here you go, one back. And then they download the app, start the 14-day trial, and then subscribe to the platform. We really build hard on these relationships between the merchants and the suppliers directly, because they're mainly communicating over email and phone, so there's a really trusted relationship there. So we found that was the easiest way to move forward. And then a lot of product led growth. Okay, go ahead. All right, this is our traction so far. So we have a little bit over 1,100 shops that are actively using this. They're obviously really happy with this, and and then across all of these shops, this is they're all dealing with a 520K GMV run rate. Again, the 6 suppliers, and we're working with 3 finance providers. All right, this is our team. So this is me, my co-founders. We previously built 2 AI SaaS companies from 0 to 1 million ARR, and my co-founders went to top tech universities, built a $1 billion critical infrastructure and hedge fund trading infrastructure, and then my other co-founder worked for 8 years at Newfield. That's it, yeah.
What happened to 2 of the companies you built?
With the 2 companies? Yeah. Oh, they're still around. What happened to them? So I'm not from SF, so I'm from Germany. I don't know if these names are going to mean anything to you, but the first company that I built was called Bits and Birds. It's an applicant tracking system for that used AI to match profiles of customers, of applicants that they wanted to see to profiles on LinkedIn. And the other one was a visual agent software development kit that allowed Siemens and really big enterprise to sort of remote control the software. Why did I leave them? So I was working there as an employee. I was working as the head of product at both these companies, and I had some amount of equity, but I wanted to do my own thing. And if you're asking about why I got into this,
I thought you were the founder.
No, I wasn't. Oh, maybe that's misleading. Yeah, sorry.
What's your take on GMV?
What's my take on GMV?
Yeah, what's the take? You have 520K in GMV, so what's the take on that?
What's the take on that?
What percentage of that
I say, what's my opinion on that? No, it's 1.5% that we take on average. We have,
So what's your revenue?
We are pre-revenue right now. We're not taking anything right now. We're pre-seed, pre-revenue.
So you have to have GMV in billions to make any money.
No, so this is not our only revenue. This is not our only revenue source. We have a SaaS component that the merchants are paying, and also the suppliers are paying. And then the agent has access to a purchasing wallet where they take money to pay for the inventory that they're buying.
If you have 1,100 clients,
yeah.
Why don't you have revenue?
So we targeted a market that is not very price sensitive, let's say. So we went to Africa, East Africa, to basically roll this out, because in our opinion we wanted to test this in a market that wasn't, we wanted to see how this would work at scale before we would roll it out in the US.
Yeah,
And
but
so,
that makes no sense. Because
Is it
why
not?
would you test something in Africa if you want to scale it in US?
well,
Unless
well,
those markets are similar, like in inventory management sector.
yeah.
Are they? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Are they the same then?
Are they the same?
Yeah, because usually, like, even if you scale from Europe, like whatever, you make $10 million in Europe, like you start from zero in US. Because
Yeah.
it's totally different market. Everything is different. Communication is different. So like, there's no overlap between Europe and US. So like, what's the overlap between Africa and US?
Well, so, I mean, okay, I mean, that's a fair question. So we looked at a lot of the different merchants, and the structure, like just by talking to the suppliers, the structure between the suppliers and the merchants was very similar when we were looking at this. And we saw, especially with the independent retailers. I'm not talking about Walmart or H-E-B, but I'm talking about the independent retailers that are owner operated, have like 5 to 6 locations. They operate on a very similar level. They call their suppliers, they're going to send emails, they're going to send WhatsApp messages, and they're going to receive invoices, they're going to pay them the exact same way. So we thought, before we wanted to go in the US and have an agent actually, touch a customer's money and then, take out credit on behalf of the owner and, get sued for $1 million right in the first year before we even make revenue. That's something that we didn't want to do in the US right away. So we wanted to go into a market where I could pay my lawyer maybe $1,000 to basically like deal with this and like fight any claims. And that's the reason why we did it. I mean, totally fair question. I'm happy to go more into detail with you on that.
No, I'm fine. Just
okay, cool.
Curious.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This is for everyone pitching. Like, if you wanna go to the next slide, just raise your left hand. Okay, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Olexiy, and I'm quite not in the format of a pitching today, but I really want to discuss the problem that everybody is cognizant of, right? So we have like about 150,000 startups launching every day, and most of them are in the tech industry, and of course, most of their work is linked to using the data centers. So one of the hugest problems in the data center is, of course, power and cooling. And cooling represents like about 20 to 50% of the power energy uses today. So we are the specialists in the cooling sector, and we are actually the applied engineering company. I wouldn't say that we are like a startup, it's more like applied engineering company that is working with the government, mainly the Department of Energy and California Energy Commission, and provide the cooling solutions for many commercial and industrial sectors. I purposely missed to put a lot of projects that we've done because they look ugly. A lot of metal, a lot of big constructions. So there is nothing fancy to see. But anyway, this is how the system looks like, and it utilizes first of all, the heat from the server's rack itself. That is a driving force to produce the cooling. The good thing that it doesn't use any mechanical, any electrical power. So it means to say that the power usage efficiency will come down from 1.2, 1.5 to close to 1. Basically, 100% of the electricity that the data centers are using right now will go to the computing instead of some supporting services. And also we have the opportunity to use over like 85% of the off-the-shelf components. So we plan to basically build this system pretty fast because most of the components are readily available. And the key benefits here, I don't know why it's so shrink here, but okay. The key benefits is like definitely no moving parts in our system. So it prolongs and strengthens the reliability and durability. It requires slow and easy maintenance, meaning to say that that would be another additional savings for the data centers operators on the maintenance, provided that, for example, like Google is planning to build a 1 gigawatt capacity of the data center. So it's a huge amount of the equipment, and it's modular. It has a lot of compressors, a lot of valves, around. So that's why it kind of huge problem with the maintenance as well. A part of the capital costs and the operating costs. What we are discussing. Our system has a low capex, and it has definitely almost, almost zero OPEX, because we are using the same heat, and it's easy to retrofit. So the market here is it's only on the equipment side is estimated like 16 billion, growing to 45 billion soon, and we are planning to target 1 billion on this market. So basically, we do not see any kind of competitive technologies for this particular sphere, but they might probably raise in very soon. So we calculated our potential savings, and it comes to 1.03 instead of 1.28, which is like an average in the industry. But for some particular locations, like Arizona, Texas, Hong Kong, Singapore, all the hot climates, it jumps to 1.5, 1.6. That means that 50 or 60% goes to the cooling, and we calculated based on 100% power capacity. We calculated the capital cost as well as the ROI, close to 4 years. It's not a bad numbers to return on the investment, the capital cost, provided that the system will be working, will be operating for many years stably and without any problem. So we are looking for the partner and looking for the host site to demonstrate our system towards any other conventional solutions. We will definitely make some feasibility study of the host site itself, and we offer to make the project for demonstration of our technology before we'll scale up for the entire facility. The ideal location has a certain criteria that we definitely want to explore, and we want to demonstrate our system operating in a very harsh environment. So that's why everybody will see how beneficial is using our technology versus the conventional as well. And this is our team, like the core team. We are basically all PhDs with a vast amount of experience in this particular topic, and we are quite familiar with the industry and how to build such kind of systems based. We never did it for the data centers itself, but we did it for many other projects, and that give us kind of a confidence that we can repeat and replicate it in the others applications. So basically, this is what we are doing for the government mostly. It's not only like cooling, it's a lot of water technologies, drying and everything, most like industrial and commercial. And let's collaborate. I would love to hear your feedbacks, and probably you can visit the website webjet.info where you can find some more information about our technology. Thank you.
Thanks. How do I pronounce your name? Olexiy?
Well, we do have around 20 IPs on the component and
all
system level.
For FJet?
That is on the component level, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is this different from a traditional heat exchanger?
It's fluidic compressors that are basically known as like a Venturi effect that is known for many years, but it was never applied in the actual world because of the lack of the proper fluids with the proper thermophysical properties.
Okay. Last question. Is this retrofit? Can
Yeah.
you go and do it, or do they have to trash whatever they bought?
No. It's easy to retrofit in the system. Actually, every data center has a backup systems anytime, anywhere. and we can actually use our system as a main one, having the backup that can be plugged into the power.
Is the product ready?
Yes, we tested this product in multiple applications. Unfortunately, I could run like another 20 slides about that.
What's the sales cycle?
What?
The sales cycle.
What we plan to do, we plan to have a contract with the data centers operators and owners, and share the savings revenue with them, right?
But like, what's the procurement process? How many months still from the?
6 months. I put it somewhere. It's 4 to 6 months. Quite easy, because 85% we are just buying off the shelf.
And how long have you guys been on the market, or how long have you been building?
7 years already working, but only with the government.
And in 7 years, you guys haven't sold, or how long did it take you to build it?
4 to 6 months, as I told. So we never build it for the data centers yet, but we build it for industrial applications.
So what's the revenue from the government then?
It's not, government is not giving you the revenue. They're just paying for your projects. It's like a grant funding.
Can I clarify my friend's question? I think we both have the same question. Data center revenue is 0. You want to start that now, but you deployed it in other places, not data center?
Not data center, right.
Okay, so what are the other places you've deployed it?
Industrial, food and industry.
What is the revenue there?
20 to 30% on their current energy
What's
usage.
your current dollar term?
Okay. For example, one of the last project, they spent $100,000 per month on the cooling, right? And we managed to reuse their process heat and convert it into the cooling, and it saved them 70% on this bill.
They saved 70,000 on the 100,000 bill.
Right.
So how much did you make on that?
Nothing. That's a government project. It's a pilot project, demonstrational project. Government is 100% paid for that.
Which government?
U.S. government.
And how much?
California Energy Commission.
And how much you're raising?
Right now,
yeah.
Just for the module, we want to raise like 550. It depends. It really depends on the capacity of the system of the module that we're going to build. So, for example, we can build as small as like 20 kilowatt system, but we made the model whatever we presented, like, and with the sizing and with the mass dimensional characteristics, that is 100 kilowatt. So for that we require 550 K in order to build and demonstrate it. But it's not like only the price for the product itself, right? It's a price for the total project, you know, to design it, to build, to make a shakedown, measurement verification, and all these kind of things. Once it's scaled up, it doesn't require all these additional.
So you're raising $550,000.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Three more to go. Let's go.
I'll be quick. Most trains are not in the US, but I will be. Hey everyone, my name is Mark, and I'm going to talk today a little bit about something a little different, something we probably haven't talked about in a long time. So I'm the founder of Transit. We're providing access to affordable, sustainable freight rail transit, specifically in the US. So if I told you today that there's a technology out there that's safer, cheaper, available in all metro areas, and actually reduces carbon emissions by 75% off the board from the alternatives. And this is the wonderful old diesel electric locomotive. While this is an old workhorse, it is, I think, the unloved technology, and currently, I think it's the best solution for for shipping things in the US. Next. So why now? Why trains? They've been here forever. They're boring, right? Old school, who cares? So I call it a quiet revolution. So what's been happening is the railroads over pretty much the last 7 years have been spending a collective of about $100 billion in what I call the silent infrastructure project that no one's talking about. So why? Sorry, go back really quickly. So the railroad used to be about 32% on time. 98, some of our railroad partners are 99.5% on time. They have spent money to be on time and as fast as trucks, but guess what? Cheaper and less carbon emissions. So, next. So, let me tell you about Becky here. Becky, she's done a lot of stuff in the US, and this is what her current process to get for a railroad is. It's very difficult. There's multiple railroads. You gotta go between railroads, in LA alone, there's 8 different rail ports. So how's Becky going to figure this out? Well, Becky's going to most likely use a truck, so unfortunately. And that's going to be obviously worse for the environment, worse for her cost, but it's going to be very easy. So what Becky's going to do is she could use transit. The Google fights for rail. So what she's going to do is she's going to get access to throughout all the railroads, competitive pricing, all the service options, automated scheduling, everything that she wants and gets from trucks, but with rail going forward. And we're going to be able to offer that and be able to bid her business against all the railroads, which we already do. Good news, a lot of Becky's. 55% of all shippers, according to Breakthrough's report, is looking at intermodal and are looking for green shipping options. And guess what? We can solve both. So let you meet your train crew. I'm the chief conductor. I was 10 years at Google. They told me at Google that they never think this could work and that I would never work in climate tech, and here I am. So as an old school Googler, I never give up. We have our chief engineer who built a lot of APIs. People don't know railroads are basically all tons of APIs. And then our station master who joined us from Freight Broker. He moved millions of dollars of freight. I told him about trains and he joined the team. So this is going to change it, so here we go. So currently, about $750,000 in ARR. We launched in June. We've got a lot of good traction with medium and small size freight brokers. These people can't hire rail people. They don't offer this service. This is a new service offering that we can just plug and play and keep going with them. The whole market is about $1 trillion. We think about 10% of that is stuff that can actually move to rail. And why we think it's $30 billion is really the business opportunity here. Because on that same report, they said about 10% of people, if you offer them today the same option that's cheaper and cost effective, they will move to rail. So that's, I think, the first mover opportunity right there. Next. And the good news is that the green market alone is growing at 10% plus. So there's a lot of good, big industrials who want to move, but this will give them a good opportunity to do so. So I started this company because I care a lot about carbon emissions. I've been a climate tech nerd forever. And so the good news is if we move 25% of all traffic that moves 750 miles or more to rail, which is where rail becomes really cost effective, we can move 13.1 million tons of carbon off the grid. So about building 4,000 windmills every year. So yeah, don't miss the train on transit. Really we're seeking about $2 million to accelerate this investment. Next. So what we want to do is we want to expand the crew to basically allow this platform that we've just been demoing to go further. Right now we're hitting a lot of problems with getting credit. So we're a small company, railroads are big people, and they want lots of money very quickly. So we just want to make sure that we can support our customers and continue to grow. And also the refrigerated market right now. There is no container refrigerated market, so we want to create it. We think there's a lot of margin there. Looking at a 25% growth on that product alone. So we think there's a lot of opportunity. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Hi, great presentation. Yeah, I didn't realize this is a whole industry. Yeah, so are you only currently focused on the US market, or also do you have a vision to expand globally?
Yeah, I think we have vision to expand globally. I mean, think about that problem with Becky, but now think about Europe, where you have multiple countries, multiple nationalities, regulations, and rules. We think there's a lot of cool things there. Actually, funny enough, they just started a small pilot of moving rail goods from China to Europe. You think about all this listed in requirements there. So I think the US is a great market to start. The railroads are investing a ton of money. They want business. They've lost their biggest business, which is coal. So I think we have a good opportunity to kind of be that bridge. And then my hope is that we build that bridge here and then we just expand that bridge to other places.
Is the train industry, is it similar to the trucking where there's onboard computers or telematics available for like IoT sensors or anything like that? Or?
So no, we're actually building some of that stuff into our platform. The good news is when I drop it off at the rail, I actually know the time it's going to arrive, and that's pretty accurate, and I know where the container is at all times. So we're actually building it, pulling from the APIs and giving that data to shippers. But in the future, we're hoping to be, when we build that container pool, we're actually give them the telemetrics as well. But that doesn't exist currently in the rail market as good, and so we're hoping to build that in. So
that could be a whole data play.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, great presentation. Wondering what's your pipeline looking like to onboard new customers for the next year or two?
Yeah, so we've had to actually stop taking too many customers because we were basically hitting our credit limit. My goal is not to lose a customer, because once you basically can't take their freight, they just move it to truck. And that's the last thing we want to do is basically have people move back, because that's like it takes not a long time, it takes a couple weeks of a trial run to move them over. So we have some pipeline right now. We actually did just sign a contract, not really a contract, but like understanding with a medium-sized brokerage. We're moving some stuff out of the Port of Long Beach. And the other thing is we're looking at another model, which I didn't talk too much about, was partnerships. So we're looking at partnerships with the big wood producer in the US to move their stuff by rail, because right now they move a lot by truck. And we're also looking at actually partnering with electric trucking companies to go after large multinationals like Pepsi and some of those big companies, because they really want to lower carbon emissions, but they also need lower costs, so that needs to work for both situations.
What are your sales projections?
You know, I will be honest, we're just 3 months in. But what I will say is I think our sales projections right now, because we've only done about 2 or 3 major customers to run the ARR. We're hoping that by next year we'll be about 5 to 10 million, and then about 2027 is already 2027. We would be looking at probably 50 if we can really get the staff on board. But again, a lot of these people that have a ton of freight sitting, I mean, I know there was a contract we were trying to go after last week. That's about 80 containers every week, and we make about $500 a container, so you can just do the math.
So 90% of inland transportation is done by trucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then no one cares about like scope 1, 2, or 3 reporting anymore. Like that was a big thing a few years ago, but like, I guess like Salesforce is still sort of requiring their vendors to report, but like even Microsoft, Nike left that and they're doing their own thing. So you're just cheaper than trucks?
Yeah. I mean, I care about it obviously for the scope 3 stuff. To be honest, I'll talk about that all day. But yeah, we're 10 to 20% cheaper, and we're the same time. Trains run, I can tell you right now, the new train, Union Pacific just opened it up. I can get your goods from like LA to Chicago in 2 days.
Because the US is not pro trains.
They are not. But what I will say is that because we have these large corporates who run most of the rail and own most of it, I mean, I could talk a long time about it, how we basically, the US, gave a free highway to all these trucking companies and then like gave it subsidized, and the railroads had to compete. But I will say they've taken up the gauntlet of competing. Like things have changed. The railroads used to be very not on time, and that's why a lot of our experience is people are like tell us, hey, we were on rail before and it took 2 weeks and I lost my goods, I didn't know where they were, telemetrics. And so they're way different than before, so yeah. 98% on time. Norfolk Southern last week just told us that they were 99.5% on time. And that's on their like 2 or 3 day transit time. So it's changed. So that's our hope, is we can now kind of be that catalyst for them to sell that product directly to shippers.
Mark, 2 questions. So what is your revenue model? Are you just a marketplace connecting shippers to?
Yeah, so we basically can do, right now, we do the whole gambit. We have like partnerships that can do first and last mile. Because you can't just like show up to a train and put your stuff on it. Though you could if that's a whole other problem.
So you have to be multimodal because of
Correct, yeah, because most people are not connected to rail. Now our dream would be we move those people from what I call tier 3 rail, which is your container on a chassis on a train, to tier 1, which is basically your facility is actually connected to a train depot. Obviously at the start somewhere, so that's what we're starting is that tier 3. But yeah, we have partnerships, so we can do first, we can do last, and we can do the whole middle, and then what we're doing is we're charging a margin on top of that to doing that work. So,
what's your GTM?
Our go-to-market right now is really small and medium brokers. So these people, like I said, they can't hire intermodal departments, they usually don't know rail, and so that's our first.
These are guys already doing
trucking.
Trucking?
Yeah, exactly.
All you're saying is, hey, listen, why don't you?
How small are they?
We have some people which are 10, and we, like I said, the logistics company, I mean, they had about 100 people that work for them. So.
How many trucks?
They don't have trucks, so they're brokers. But I mean, they're moving hundreds of millions of dollars worth of freight.
Okay,
so,
they're brokers.
Yeah. So the brokerage is where we got after. But the other go-to-market I will say has been kind of successful is partnerships, partnering with some of these trucking companies who are regional, especially electric trucking companies, because they can't do the mileage. And then we can offer a really super unique product called, I'm calling it Super Green, where we can be basically green on both sides and then have a low-cost option in the middle. So, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, co-founder and CEO of Hermetic. Do you mind actually? So, how do I? Maybe I should get back to you. Reverse the space bar. So, with tools like Claude and Cursor and ChatGPT, over the next 5 years,
software development is going to exponentiate, and the bottleneck of the CI/CD cycle is going to shift downstream from how much code, how many software developers do you have writing code, to how long does that code take to compile, because of all the augmentation of agentic AI. So the bottleneck is becoming, for lots of infrastructure companies, the time and the compute cost of the actual compilation. And this is not for every company. If you're building a simple web browser, compilation doesn't take a long time. If you need reproducible or hermetic builds, like if you're a robotics company, an example is if you're, like I spoke to an engineer at a self-driving car company that needs to update one of their cars, and to do so they take in video data, sensor data, hardware data, firmware data, software data, and compiling that and compressing that and actually shipping that, deploying that to the car takes hours, where they're just sitting there waiting for the code to compile. So this problem is being exacerbated because the amount of code is exponentiating because of agentic AI. And as you can imagine, that causes a huge productivity loss. If you're a software engineer and you have to sit waiting for your code to compile, that's time wasted. So I'm working with the creator of NativeLink, which is an Apache licensed open source project that offers a remote cache remote execution system built in Rust, meaning unlike the competitors, there's no garbage collections, there's no race conditions, it's faster, you get deeper observability into the actual builds, and we're building a cloud wrapper around that to give a good developer experience for users starting in a week and a half. We have 10 customers lined up. So we're essentially building a build engineer as a service. In other words, we're trying to become the Vercel for builds. Vercel does deployments really fast. One step back from that is the build, is actually getting that code into a binary executable, into a bunch of ones and zeros. And that's what our software is really, really good at. So you can go to hermetic.com and click try demo now to see what we're launching in a week and a half. And I'm the CEO, my co-founder and CTO spent years as a principal engineer at Apple, and then Blaze is the creator of NativeLink. So we're launching in a week, and then we're going to have our second iteration later this year. There are other companies that do remote cache, remote execution, and they're not built for the AI era. BuildBuddy doesn't scale. It's built for apps. EngFlow was built years ago. It's legacy. It's expensive. It doesn't have good UI. So when we think about the companies that we're solving for in this 30 billion TAM, I think I'm going over time. Have I gone over? Am I good? Okay, there's a lot of slides. I'll go through some. So all the companies on this screen are companies I've spoken to personally in the last 60 days. And there's 3 tiers of customers we're going for. One is AI infrastructure companies like Hugging Face, Mistral, and Dataworkz. The second is robotics companies like Tesla, Neuralink, DoorDash Robotics. And the third are companies that compile Chromium internally, like Zscaler, Netscope, IO, and Dolphin. And the reason for these 3 tiers, these 3 niches, is because all 3 of these types of companies compile massive amounts of code. So especially for companies that run AI at the edge or do robotics or have complex systems, but before this event, 2 hours ago, I was at the CTO's office of a Series A company here in San Francisco, and he told me, without me asking, that he'd pay $50,000 a month if we could get his builds to be faster, because his engineers are wasting their time. And that problem is exponentiating for AI companies. So this is more for reading than presenting, but basically we have a robust go-to-market process. We're gonna hit 40K MRR, we hope, in January, and hit 2 million by next September. I probably won't go deep into the pricing, but if anyone has questions on pricing, we have a kind of examples of how we will create revenue. We're raising 1.5 million this quarter to hire 3 engineers. We'll have a total of 5. Give us 18 months runway at 83,000 a month burn, and get to 2 million ARR by next September. And that's basically the presentation. I'll leave it there. Thanks.
Great presentation. Yeah, I see a lot of potential market value for hardware teams. So are you kind of displacing like ML compiler teams, or are you just making it faster or easier, or are you customizing to their specific hardware as well?
So it's specifically for the build process. Like we're not replacing ML compilers. It's for like the part of the CI/CD where they have to get the code into a binary.
Okay.
So that specific process. So ML compiler, could you give me an example of just like?
I'm just thinking about like getting it to run on the hardware.
Yeah.
Is that
That's not that's not exactly.
okay?
Right. It's a remote cache, remote execution system. So just to give one quick example, you're a software engineer at Tesla. You have to run 100,000 tests on the Model X to make it drive better in the rain. You're adding 5,000 more tests. Normally, you have to run, it's in a monorepo, so you have to run all 105,000 all at once, or every time you update it. Same thing if you're running Chromium, you're building a web browser, you're building an ad blocker. Every time you make an update, you have to run Chromium, which is a beast. It takes forever to update. So now there exists remote cache, remote execution systems. We didn't invent that. We just have the best one, and we know how to commercialize it the best. It's the best because it's written in Rust. It's the fastest, has the most observability. So the way that a remote cache works is that now all those 100,000 tests that you ran the first time are cached. So when you have 5,000 more, you just pull the 100,000 out from the cache, and then the ones that hadn't been cached previously are executed across a massively parallelized set of remote worker nodes. So it's a quicker way to make updates and to whenever you write new code to actually to compile that code.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess we're done. Cool. So thank you for coming. There should be some more pizza in the back and beverages up front. You can continue networking.